Hi, welcome to my page, The Healing Sessions with Eunice. Recently, I've actually received a lot of calls for quite a number of individuals. And these are individuals who don't quite understand why it is the beginning of the year and that they actually just feel exhausted. They feel fatigued. They have no energy to do anything. They don't want to go to work. They feel a sense of hopelessness, sense of helplessness. Others just feel totally overwhelmed or frustrated. So, what they are describing to me is that I don't understand, but this is the beginning of the year, and I just feel that nothing has changed. I'm in exactly the same situation I've been for over so many years. I don't know what it is that I'm doing wrong, but I don't understand why it is that I continuously find myself in this situation. Now, these situations could range from so many different experiences. Others complain about the same situation, difficulties when it comes to relationship, jobs. They find themselves with the same problems at work or stuck in the same position or the same work environment. Others is to do with family situations, and others is to do with studies. So the list continue. Of course, the main one is also to do with finances. Now, what they've been describing, which most people couldn't really define what it is a term called psychological stuckness. Now, psychological stuckness is all about being in the same situation, using basically you find yourself every year you are stuck in the same situation and you have tried everything, but for some reason you are unable to unstuck yourself. Now, if we use an illustration, I would use it by, if you look at the diagram that is being shown right now, by looking at the road. But in that road, there's a very big hole. So psychological stuckness manifests itself in the fact that you are walking along this road and you find yourself year in, year out, inside that hole. And so the whole year is about getting yourself out of that hole, just to find yourself inside that hole again. So if you look at the second diagram that is now being portrayed on your screen, is for us to look for a way how to get you out of that hole. But more importantly, is for you to not fall into that hole again and for you not to experience psychological stuckness. Basically, psychological stuckness just relates to an inability, meaning that it's a cognitive immobility where you cannot even think anymore of any or of any way how you can get yourself out of it, because you've tried everything but you are stuck. You think you have come out just to fall inside again. So as this diagram is showing, is that I am now saying you can actually take another way, meaning we have to find out what is it that keeps you falling into that same hole and for you to be stuck. Because the whole point is to look for an alternative to either walk around this hole so that you don't fall inside it again, or you can build a bridge over this hole. Now, to do that, what I am here to propose is that most times when we are dealing with psychological stuckness, we are actually dealing with shame. Now, shame in its very, in a healthy way of responding to internal shame is that we would usually look at, this is what we have done. We have been unable to do what is right. We usually forgive ourselves or ask even for forgiveness. And we also ask for help on how to go on about unstucking ourselves. But when we are now dealing with psychological stuckness, we are actually dealing with a toxic shame. Now, with toxic shame, it means that, right, it is related to you as a person feeling that, right, you are inadequate, you are useless, you are a plague to society, and so you are ashamed of yourself. And that does not allow you to actually move forward, but can only trap you within the same position. How does it happen that then the shame, the toxic shame traps you? It either traps you by the fact that you become extremely defensive to criticism. So you find that when people are speaking to you about the fact that, but you continuously do this, you become defensive because you then perceive it as destructive criticism. So you become overtly defensive about what you are doing wrong. Now, when you become defensive, you are not open to learning from your mistakes. So you remain stuck within that same situation. At the same time, it also can come from if you are extremely, if you are a perfectionist, which means that you end up spending a lot of time in perfecting something that you aren't able to perfect. So then you spend so much time, waste so much time. This thing cannot be perfected. It's like I can give you an example of a thesis, for example. Then you find that year in, year out, you are spending so much time and you are stuck and you cannot finish this process. Why? Because you are trying to perfect something that cannot be perfected. That you can only give in the best that you can do, and then you can give it in for marking. So you remain stuck and you do not understand why it is you are feeling that you are not able to finish, because you are exercising or you are stuck in the fact that you want to be a perfectionist. Another problem also comes from procrastination. A lot of time when a situation has overwhelmed us, we continuously procrastinate and we do not end up finishing. That again leads to us feeling what? Inadequate. It also affects our self-esteem, and then we find ourselves not finishing projects. And so you again end up feeling stuck in the same thing. So other people are bogged down with the way they perceive problems. Meaning they have not defined the problem. They've got a selective view and they tend to exaggerate everything that is happening to them, that they end up feeling totally overwhelmed. So for us to overcome the sense of toxic shame, we need to, more than anything, identify what is it that we are ashamed about. What is it, that personal shame that we are carrying, that we feel that we cannot overcome, or we are too embarrassed to speak about it because we feel that we have failed? So it is in defining the shame and finding out what are those internal secrets that that we know about ourselves, that we are not talking about, that is keeping us in the same position. It is in identifying those that we can go to the next level. Now, in the next video, we are going to look at just understanding about how do we define problems. And also, but more than anything, what I want you to learn is in identifying and knowing what is that problem that's keeping you stuck, that we can find a way to unstuck you. So write it down for yourself. Find out what are your internal shames. And then this year, we can actually do a different thing. And we can define that problem and we can go around the hole. You don't need to fall in that hole again. The strategies of last year that has brought you here is not working. So we need to get a new strategy for 2024. I am Eunice. If this video has helped you in any shape and form, please share. But more than anything, subscribe to my page, follow us on YouTube, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and let us change somebody's life this year. Let this year be your best year ever. See you next time.